when you see something on Twitter and it says a message from XX such and such team or an update on an insert game here? You know it's usually going to be bad, right? Especially when
Well,
especially when
I
they
don't Twitter.
especially when they lock the replies.
That is bad
That's bad,
because
right?
you just use experience with YouTube, and when uh, replies and comments are disabled, it's not a good video.
No, no, definitely. It's always something bad. They don't want to hear any stuff. So, yeah, I guess Naughty Dog put out a an update on The Last of Us Online on Twitter, and then they
Would
locked
you
the replies.
say Naughty Dog was a bit
They
naughty
were very naughty, very
for
naughty.
Chris? They're not going to get any Christmas gifts.
They were very naughty. Yeah, and you know what's funny is they put this statement out. And what day are we at? The 12th, the 15th. That's
This day is
usually
indeed the 15th.
usually when all of these big media sites they go on vacation for a few weeks, right? It's
Yes.
very slow, so it was an interesting time for them to put out this update on canceling The Last of Us Online. Don't you think?
Interesting or strategic?
Very strategic. Very strategic. You know, they put it out right after God of War puts out their Valhalla DLC, and then right after they announced The Last of Us Remastered 2, and then just as everybody's going on break, we've got an update on this game. It's very funny. So, not really funny. It's aggravating. I was really pissed.
Were you pissed or was it for the clicks?
No, I was mad. I want to play this online. I want to play the online game.
Did they even show anything for it though?
No, but The Last of Us Part 2 has amazing gameplay, and I wanted to play an online game.
You have plenty of online games though.
Not that are The Last of Us, though.
Don't mind me. I'm just being devil's advocate over here because
You, you are that I should just tell you every time you're upset about. You have plenty of other games to play. Why do you so upset about this game?
and I probably would be like, you're right, because I do have plenty other games to play
Right.
at all times. I think I will die before I play all the games I own.
But no, I thought it was. I thought so. We go back to 2019. I think there was like previews for this game, and then they kind of like low key announced that they weren't their online aspect factions. It was too ambitious. They got too ambitious with it, which is kind of I thought it was bullshit at the time. They were probably crunching on the main game, and they needed the team that was working on the multiplayer to.
Right. To clarify, you're talking about this was originally supposed to be included with Last of Us 2.
Correct. Yes, and then you know all the PlayStation fanboys were like, "Oh yeah, it's so ambitious that they're making their own thing," and it's like you guys are coping here. They're up against the clock on the story campaign or whatever you want to call it, their main game. So they probably pulled those people off to start working on the main game so they can get it out on time. And then I'm sure they went back to work on this thing that they started building out. And
They needed more time to put definition on Abby's muscles.
and then so they updated it with concept art, and they even said at the beginning of this year that like we'd see more of it, we'd see it this year. And then once there was the Jason Schreier story about how they brought in Bungie, and Bungie reviewed it and said it wasn't sticky enough, blah blah blah, and so now they came out with this statement saying, they realized in ramping up to full production, the massive scope of our ambition became clear. To release and support The Last of Us Online, we'd have to put all our studio resources behind supporting post-launch content for years to come, severely impacting development on future single-player games. So we had two paths in front of us: become a solely live service games studio, or continue to focus on single-player narrative games that have defined Naughty Dog's heritage. That just means that's kind of like I feel like a deflection, like because obviously not everybody, but Naughty Dog's fans love the single-player stuff. So they're like, well, if we didn't cancel this, then we would severely impact. We would be able to make our single-player games that have defined our heritage. So I feel like that was kind of like a cop out, and it's worked. I've seen people online like, "Oh, I'm so happy! This is great. Well, they can go back to making single player games." Not like instead, of saying you guys totally screwed this up and wasted years and tons of money on this, and you're trying to tell me that when you were making this, you didn't realize, oh my God, we're gonna need a huge team to support this for years to come. You just realize this now, like.
Here's my two thoughts on it as an outsider looking in because I had no interest because I don't even like The Last of Us 1 or 2.
Right.
Uh, it seems like it could have been that they were making this game and they thought that the people designing this game that it was an awesome game, and Bungie came in and took a look at it and was like, nah, this isn't as good looking as you think it is. Sometimes you need those outside eyes. For example, Redfall. Or Bungie came in and just said this game's shit, even if it was a good looking game, and forced them to shut it down because Bungie's in charge of Sony's online games as a service right now, aren't they?
Yeah, there's rumors that they are or they aren't.
Like
Yeah,
they're heading
kinda.
up all the studios involved in all of it.
They've kind of and look at how they're doing. So
They're not doing that great, so that's why I find
right, totally.
If that latter explanation is the reason why, it's kind of funny to me.
They were like doing like a review of all of their live service stuff they had in development, but like. I think a lot of people were assuming that they came to them and basically told them, you know how much like staff and stuff you're going to need to support this game like post launch, like you can't do both of these at once or something. I don't know, but like it's a bunch of bullshit, I think.
I think I would agree with you, but at the same time, I don't.
There's more to the story that we're not getting here.
I'm willing to bet Bungie's a big part of the story.
And, Jim Ryan, I think this is a huge blemish on him that he came in, wanted all this games as a service crap. It's starting to line up with a lot of the rumors that you're hearing that he wanted a lot of these teams to make a lot of live service stuff. It's why we haven't heard anything from Naughty Dog. We haven't heard anything from Ben's studio, which I think there's supposedly there's a rumor that they were even working on this. We haven't heard anything from, the Ghost of Tsushima Sucker Punch studio. And their last game was 2020, so 3 years. So, I mean, yeah. I think he's severely hurt the first-party development, and I think we're going to end up with a gap here where there's going to be any first-party games. Really, it's just going to be a lot of, like, second-party, timed exclusives, or they're going to have to go out and buy some stuff, basically. I mean,
or they continue forward and they release Xbox quality tier games for the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's if they are shifting away from all this live service mess that he wanted them to get into, that's a good thing. But it's going
to take them a while to
refocus.
Right course, though.
Yeah.
You won't see a game for a while.
No, yeah, it's hurt him for the short to medium term. Yeah,
but maybe that will give them time to do some shit that I've been wanting. Like a Resistance Fall of Man collection on the PS5.
Yeah, totally. I mean, this is
just
what they should. This is what they should be doing is like putting. They've got so much stuff in the back catalog. They should be remastering a lot of this stuff or
remastering HD collections.
Yeah,
I would buy a PlayStation 5 Jack and Dexter collection.
I think this is why you're getting this Last of Us 2 with. I bet you a lot of this stuff, these outfits in this. Last of Us Part 2 No Return mode are probably like cast-offs from this game, probably this online game.
That I would agree with that. That's probably what's going to wind up being. They scuttled the ship and saved what they could, and they're releasing it in this package, I bet.
Right, they put whatever they can in there, and now they're probably just going to write this. You'll probably see some in like an investor meeting probably about this game. They're probably going to write it off like how HBO and Max like just didn't release all these movies and just started like writing this shit off.
Like Sega did recently with that their most expensive game ever.
Right. What is that called?
Extraction game. I forget
the one that Creative Assembly was making, right?
Yeah, I forget the name of it. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I was just reading an article today about that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that game costs Sega that much and they just canned it? Okay.
Right, I think that I bet you they probably could release this game and make money off of it, but like it's probably worth more for them to just write it off probably on their taxes and stuff since they're not going to make gajillion dollars. Like they're not going to make Fortnite money on it.
Yeah,
yeah, they want to make Fortnite money on it, which they're not going to. So, Yeah, it's just super upsetting that they wasted all of this time and like all we've gotten from Naughty Dog this gen is remasters. We've gotten 3 remasters. Well,
A
one
remaster
remake
of
and 2
a
remasters.
brand new game.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
one remake and 2 remasters. Yeah, I made the joke on another Discord yesterday that who was the better remake studio, Naughty Dog or Blue Point? Like, because that's all they're doing now.
I might have to go with Naughty Dog because that Last of Us remaster does look pretty good, even though I don't like that game.
Yeah, that is really good. But I mean, they have Demon Souls from Blue Point. At least they're remastering old games or remaking old games.
Yeah, that was pretty good looking too. I still have yet to pick that one up.